And welcome back to the UTrade YouTube channel. So this video is for someone that maybe isn't having much luck in the markets at the moment, isn't really understanding why price is doing what it's doing, and is really struggling to visualize what's going to happen next. And the most likely reason for that is because you're probably just overcomplicating it way too much. All right. If you were to ask someone who was new to trading to look at the pattern of the chart and give a rough guess of where things are going to go next, 50% chance they're going to get it right. And if we look at this chart right here, this is actually the live GJ chart. Let's break it down really, really simply, okay? Because I saw this on a webinar the other day and it was really useful for me. So I'm hoping it's going to be the same for you. If we look how price is moving up here, it's going up and down, up and down, okay? So it's forming these higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low. That one's a bit off. Higher high, higher low. So in reality, what do we expect to see come next? Well, we'll come up to here. There's no reason why we can't go up there, right? So I'm going to take this basic concept. Let's remove all those. I'm going to take this basic concept into a random point on the charts. I'm going to scrunch it up so that you don't have a clue. And I don't have a clue where it is. Just want to make sure it's not too early. There we go. So I don't have a clue where it is. I don't know what's going to happen next. We're on the monthly, so let's take it back down to the 4 hour. And we're going to see what's going on. So if we look from an overall perspective, it looks like we're currently moving downwards. All right. We are creating a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Exceeded it a little bit here, but I think you can consider this as the same resistance zone. And we'll come back down, just come back up to create another lower high. So what would we really expect to see next? Well, further downside. All right, if you thought further downside, then you were correct. However, it's not really that simple, is it? So we need to think about where is price reacting. So if we look and get a really nice close-up of where candles are right at this very moment, we can clearly see that price did not, when it got up to here, want to go any further than that. As we saw a similar thing here, when we got down, it reacted off this level. So this level of price, 145.283, is clearly an important level where price is reacting off. Now, our next one that we're going to look at, which is a little bit more of a more important level because we're actually at that level right now, is this one right here. So the 144.744 level. Okay, because price dropped below, came up, didn't want to go down, didn't want to go up, so it went down, formed the resistance, and it formed the support down here, which we're going to mark up next as well, and came back up. So if I'm looking at this chart right now, if price doesn't go above here and starts resisting off here, off this resistance, where is it next most likely to go? It's down here, isn't it? So if I'm going to take a trade, I'm going to target to be in the trade here and be out the trade here. We just want to capture that little movement, capture that moment, and see if we can make some money. All right. So let's take it down to the hourly so we can get a little bit more information. All right. The lower time frame we go to, the more information we can gather. But we don't want to overdo it if we're trying to keep it simple. So don't go looking at the 1 minute or the 5 minute because you're likely just going to confuse yourself, and they are weak candle confirmations. So when would I be looking to take a trade? Well, as you can see, we've got this resistance here. Price come up, resistance, came back down. Very clearly agree that this zone is resistance zone, as it is where we are right now. However, we broke that resistance. We had this candle close above these two candles at the resistance, and then we continued up. So that would have looked like quite a likely trade to continue going up. So what I'd be looking for to enter a trade here is something like this candle, all right, where price went below the two previous candles, and maybe we could have got the continuation down to here. All right, but we need to look at market time. So it's currently the 31st of May 2018 at 9 o'clock. Now, we know that that isn't a very volatile time. All right, it's not the New York session, it's not the London session, it's not even the Asian session. All right, so let's look on the 30 minute and see what's happening now. Good. So we've actually just got a bearish 30-minute close. And I'm surprised we've actually come to this so quickly because this example isn't cherry-picked. So if we were to look for a short position here, we haven't really got a confirmation. It's kind of risky. We could get rejected off this level here to go back up. So I'm not going to enter it. And guess what? I'm going to be patient. So let's just see what happens next. Cool. So we're still coming back up to test this resistance. So what I have to do here is be really, really patient and just wait. All right. I'm not rushing into any trade because I've got no confirmation yet. All right, cool. Now we're starting to get a lot more bearish movement. So it's very likely that we could continue going down to here. However, in this current circumstance, I don't actually really like this level too much. All right, because we're getting support on there quite heavy. And it's 12:30 at night. So I wouldn't be taking this trade anyway. So let's just watch what it does during this Asian session. And we broke above. So it's a good job we didn't take any trades there. It's a good job we were patient. So now what would I be looking for? Well, as we came back up to this level, we clearly retested and made a support and went up. So remember, at resistance, we sell. At support, we buy. So let's wait for our support to form and see if there's a potential to buy. Cool, we're getting our support now. So this is our support level. Okay, so we're breaking back down below here. So I'll be looking for another sell. Okay, brilliant. Right. So this is the kind of thing we want to see. I think if I can see one more bullish close on the 30-minute, this is pre-London. Great. That's looking very nice to get in a long position now. Yeah, maybe a bit of a late entry. Let's check out what the stop loss is. So stop loss isn't great at 20 pips, but our target is up here for 37. So let's see where this takes us. Great. So we're currently in profit. Now, what I'd actually do at this point in the trade is you are 14 pips up, 13 pips up. So that, yeah, we might have a negative risk reward, but that is absolutely fine. I would take some of my profits there and I would potentially move my stop loss a little bit closer, managing and reducing my risk. Okay, so let's see what happens next. Right, we're still pushing up. We're very close to the TP. So if you were watching the trade at this moment, you could have took your profit somewhere around there for 20 pips. All right. I'm just telling you how I'd visualize it, how I'd manage the trade live. And we'd come back down. And that is exactly why you manage this trade. So what I'd do now is I'd move the stops even closer. I'd have took most of my position out if I'd left anything in. If it goes up, it's kind of a bonus, right? And we'll eventually hit our take profit. All right. Let's revise that. Let's talk about why we entered the trade and what signals we got. So my main confluence was that we were rejecting off this support level here, which we then broke this resistance. Now, when we talked about our break of a zone and a retest, we actually got that quite well here. So we got the break, we got the retest, all right? Yeah, this candle closed below here, but we don't need to think of these lines as just solid lines. These are more like zones. Okay, you don't always have to draw them on as zones, but that's what you've got to understand, is that support and resistance aren't set prices where price is guaranteed to bounce off that exact line. Yeah, they look pretty accurate. However, look at the wicks. All right, so we started forming support on this zone. We had 1, 2, 3 candles, and then this bullish candle here actually engulfed that candle very, very nicely. All right, the next one had extreme bullish momentum. So guess what? I took the trade and we're in. But why did I wait for this candle to close and not enter on this one? Well, if we look at a situation like this where we had 3 bearish, and then we had this bullish engulfing and it just went up, if I entered on that one, would have been out the trade probably. All right, because the stop loss wouldn't have looked very nice, would have stopped me out about there to continue up. So this for me was a much better entry. Let's see what it does afterwards. And as you can see, if we'd have held that trade a little bit longer or left any runners in, you'd currently be... is this going to mess it up? We entered on the break of this candle anyway, so you'd currently be 120 pips in profit, 110 pips in profit, whatever that was. All right, over 100 pips in profit, which, to be quite honest, is a very good return. So yeah, that's pretty much how I'd look at the market. If you don't understand this on the first watch round, go and watch it back. The main points to take from this is support down here, resistance. Sell at resistance, buy at support. If price is in an uptrend, then wait for support and buy. If price is in a downtrend, then wait for resistance and sell. It's that simple. You just need to get the experience and start understanding this early. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you have, and leave us a comment. Tell us what you think about our analysis. And if you fancy getting some more from us, then follow us on Instagram. That's at utrade__. Send us a message if you've got any trading problems. I will do my best to help you, and have a good night.